Good morning and welcome to Calvary Chapel, Hurricane Valley. It's a blessing to be here. My name is Dustin Whitson. I'm the pastor of Calvary Chapel here in Hurricane, and I have a new exciting announcement. And so this is our announcement in our new reopening that we have been given in this time of the pandemic and the coronavirus as it's subsiding. The city has allowed us to meet together. And that's an answer to prayer. Thank you for praying. But we've been given guidelines that we must follow in order for this to happen. So I'm going to go through these guidelines and just expound on them briefly. And this will help you, help us, and then we can all be together on the same page when we have church on May 10th. So beginning on May 10th, Mother's Day weekend will be our first Sunday back at the Hurricane Community Center. And with that, I kind of stumbled upon a verse in 1 Peter that Pastor Edmund, a friend of mine, had given me, and I just want to read that before we begin. And it simply says this: "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand." He says that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Be alert, be sober-minded. Your enemy, the devil, prowls like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. He says, resist him. Stand firm in the faith because you know that your fellow believers throughout the world are undergoing the same kind of suffering. 1 Peter 5, 6 through 9. And this is truly one of those times where we know that everyone through the world is going through this. And God has blessed us with an opportunity to return back to what would be a new normal, and we are going to continue to pray for this to be dealt with and done, and also for those other churches to be able to come back together. So, as we come back together, here are our new requirements that we need to follow. To uphold the social distancing requirements, we need to have sanitizer solution available for everyone, and we will have that at the church. So for those coming in the doors, we'll have ushers to help open those doors so you won't have to have contact through that, as well as hand sanitizer available for those opening the doors and just common use. We will also have to do the 6-foot distancing as we seat in the auditorium, and that means simply separating by rows and separating by seats to maintain the 6-foot distancing standard. And we will have ushers there to help mark that out and keep that in place. The other thing that they've asked is they've recommended that we have masks that we wear, and that if you're over 65, you're required to wear a mask during the service time. And then noting that also that if you have a mask of your own that you've been wearing, please bring it. And if you don't have one, and as you find yourself at church, we will have masks available for you that you can simply pick up and use during the service time. And then following the masks, we also are going to have a common box, or actually boxes, for all the tithing and offering. We will no longer pass the offering plate in the aisles, so you can simply drop your tithe and offering in those boxes. We will also have the bulletins on a common table that you can pick up as you come into that common area before entering into the sanctuary. We will also suspend our coffee bar in the coffee area. We will also suspend the book table, the bookstore book table, more than likely through the month of May. And so note those two things will be off. We will also ask that after service and before service that you would either stay outside or come into the sanctuary and find your seat. But we ask that you don't all gather together in that very small common area there, that we help fulfill the social distancing requirements. So if you're going to meet and talk and have time with one another, either do it outside or come inside into the larger sanctuary area, or what would be the theater area. We also are going to have a time of communion, and when we do have our time of communion, we will separate basically the cracker and put it in a separate cup that will be basically double stacked with your juice cup. So we will no longer have the common tray of the crackers that everybody will reach into. That's been done away with, and we will have that and explain that in due time. And then we'll also ask all of the children in the Sunday school, or all the children's workers in the Sunday school area, that they will have the toys wiped down and sanitized, as well as the hard surfaces, and that those children will also have just opportunity to do fun and creative activities, and we'll do our best to help with the children. We'll also strictly enforce the sick child policy. So if your child is sick, we cannot accept them at all in the Sunday school area, and so we're going to have to uphold that or enforce that as well. So as we go through these requirements, this is going to be our new normal. And as this is our new normal, we're going to be flexible. We're going to, as we read just a minute ago, humble in how we deal with these things, but we're doing it all in the perspective that we've prayed and asked God that He would open up these doors, and He has, and that we would walk through this in love, in respect, in honor of not only our city and our city officials, but the fellow brothers and sisters in Christ that are with us during these times. So thank you for your patience and your prayer. Thank you for your continued prayer as we move forward. God bless you, and we will see one another face to face May 10th at the same time at 10 a.m. in the morning. God bless you. Have a great day.